Chapter 22.
Jake was next. He morphed, and I flew him over the heads of two patrolling park rangers, who did not even seem to notice me. Then came Marco. When I exited the cave with him, I practically ran into a big Hork-Bajir. He didn't take any notice of me either. Cassie's plan was working. Even with all the controllers on maximum alert, it never occurred to them that their enemy might be a bird, with a fish in its talons. Back in the cave, it was just Rachel.
So far, so good,
I said.
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you nervous?
I'd have to be crazy not to be nervous. Oh well, here it goes.
She started to morph. I'd seen 3 others do it now, so it wasn't a surprise to me. But it was still horrifying to watch a friend, someone you cared about, twist and deform and mutate before your eyes. I don't think any of us will ever get used to morphing. Maybe the Andalites are used to it. I don't know. But I'll bet it creeps them out too when they have to change. I looked away as Rachel began to get strange and hideous. She was almost completely a fish when it happened. Someone was forcing their way through the bushes at the mouth of the cave.
A flash neath there.
A Hork-Bajir. Yes, I see it, a human voice said grumpily. You know, these human bodies aren't blind. Just because you're in a Hork-Bajir, don't get delusions. Use those blades of yours to hack some of these thorns out of the way. I heard a sound like fast machetes, slicing away the vines and thorns. Better not find anything in here, the human controller said. The Visser will do to you what was done to that poor fool yesterday who let the human escape. I looked at Rachel. It was too late for her to morph back.
What's going on?
She asked.
Yerks, a human controller and a Hork-Bajir controller, right outside the cave.
Fuck off that puny body.
This was your sector to check. You didn't even notice this cave. Keep getting on my nerves, and I'll tell him.
He go fetch you and eat your new calf. Ha ha.
Suddenly, a human head appeared, followed by shoulders. He was wearing a park ranger's outfit.
We have to make a break for it,
I told Rachel.
Here they come.
Yeah, there's a cave in here, all right. There's some kind of bird. I grabbed Rachel, now fully in fish morph. But the human controller blocked the narrow entrance. Well, I thought, it worked with a helicopter. With a rush of wings, I flew right at his face. What the? He fell back, beating at the air. I scraped past him. The Hork-Bajir slashed at the air with one of his wrist blades. He shaved off an inch of my tail. But I was in the air now, and moving faster. Only it was hard with Rachel. The weight of a fish is more than a redtail can carry easily. And I had already carried 3. I was tired. Fortunately, I was also very scared. Fear can make you strong sometimes. A Drakenbeam sizzled the air above me. Unfortunately for the Hork-Bajir who had fired, the Drakenbeam did not stop when it buzzed by me. No, the Drakenbeam hit the underside of the vast truck ship. A small, neat round hole appeared in the bottom of the ship. It was too small to amount to anything. But suddenly, the Hork-Bajir lost his interest in me. Fool! The human controller cried. Visser 3 will have your head for dinner. While they were busy panicking, I dropped Rachel into the water with the others.
Good work, Tobias,
Jake said.
Be careful up there, my friend.
You too,
I said.
Good luck, you guys.
I could just barely see them, a small school of fish in the shallows. They swam off and disappeared into deeper water. As I've told you, there are limits to how far thought speech can reach. We don't really know what those limits are, but I wanted to stay as close to them as I dared, in case they needed me. Not that there was much that I could do to help someone underwater. I didn't want to stay right over them. I figured that would look suspicious to anyone on shore. It was hard to figure out what to do. The monstrous bulk of the truck ship was overhead, leaving only a few feet open above the surface of the water. I decided I had to chance it. I flew under the ship, skimming the dappled water below and practically scraping the metal belly of the ship above me. It was a very difficult flight. I had to stay almost totally leveled. I couldn't rise or fall by more than a couple of feet.
You guys still okay?
Tobias? I can't believe you can still thought speak with that whole ship between us.
Rachel said. I guess I could have told her the truth, that I was within a few feet of them. But then Jake would have just gotten all mad and told me not to take stupid risks. I figured that between the time it had taken through the entire morphing process and carrying them one at a time to the water, plus now the time spent swimming out to the big intake pipe, Cassie had been in morph for just over half an hour. Jake had 10 minutes more, then Marco, and Rachel.
What are you guys doing now?
I asked.
We're looking at the bottom of this intake pipe. There's tremendous suction.
Rachel reported.
I'll go first and look around. See what's what.
Jake announced.
Here goes. Whoa! Man! Whoa! Yeah!
Jake, are you okay?
Cassie cried.
Oh yeah. What a rush. They should have a water slide like that at the gardens. It's like being sucked up a straw by a giant.
Cool.
Rachel said.
I'm next.
No, let me look around first.
Jake said.
I seem to be in some kind of big tank. It's not very deep, at least not yet. It's filling up. With these lame fish eyes, I can't see beyond the surface of the water very well. But I think up in the ceiling, there's an opening, like a grate or something. Up on the ceiling? How are we going to get up there?
Marco asked.
Well, I think if they fill this whole tank, we'll be near the top eventually. We should be able to morph to human, let ourselves out, then morph into something more dangerous than our human bodies. Excuse me,
Marco said.
but does anyone else ever stop to realize that some of the things we talk about doing are totally insane?
What? Turning into a fish so we can be carried by a hawk and let ourselves be sucked up the pipe of an alien spaceship so that we can then turn into tigers and gorillas and whatever and overpower the creepy aliens?
Rachel said.
Is that what you mean by insane?
That's it exactly.
Yup,
Rachel said.
it is insane.
Well, okay.
Marco said.
As long as we all know we're nuts. Let's do it!